Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and welcome back to Batman Be Vlogged, the weekly vlog series where I review an episode of Batman Beyond after watching it for the very first time. Today, we are looking at episode 43, Big Time, from a story by Robert Goodman and Tom Ruegger, written by Robert Goodman and directed by James Tucker. As always, because I do these unscripted, there is a blanket spoiler warning in place in the off chance I do decide to talk about spoilers. So if you have not seen the episode in question, Big Time, this is your one chance to jump ship, go watch the episode, and then come back to this review. And season 3 of Batman Beyond so far has been a really strong season. We've had solid episode after solid episode, and I feel like a lot of my criticism so far have really just been nitpicks of minor one off scenes or moments that don't really have a bearing on the episode overall. All that being said, Big Time at the moment is a highlight of season 3. I am like 4 episodes into season 3, I believe, and Big Time is kind of a standout. We'll see what happens as the rest of the season goes on, of course, but yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. To make a comparison, because if you watch these videos, or if you've watched any of my videos, that's how I think. That's how I function. I think in comparisons. This reminds me of an episode of Batman the Animated Series. The episode It's Never Too Late. The premise of It's Never Too Late was that a crime boss, as he is in the middle of a turf war with crime lord Rupert Thorne, reconnects with an old childhood friend who grew up and became a priest. And with Batman's help, this priest tries to turn his old friend back onto the right path, tries to help him redeem himself. That is really what Big Time reminds me of. So the premise of Big Time is that Wayne Powers has come up with a chemical called, what was it? Serostone, basically a plant growth hormone that accelerates plant growth. But a rival company, Agrichem, an agricultural company, has hired a mercenary named Karos, voiced by William H. Macy. So, in that instance, we have a returning guest star who is not reprising his role from an earlier episode. William H. Macy was also in Disappearing Ink. Anyway, Agrichem has hired Karos to steal Sarah Stone to use it for their own, to use it themselves. Now, while this is going on, an old friend of Terry's, named Charlie Bigelow, or as he's affectionately known, Big Time, has just gotten out of prison. And it turns out that, of course, Big Time, or Charlie, is working for Agrichem, trying to help them steal the Sarah Stone, and essentially seeing it as his big break. So you can kind of see where the comparisons come from. Batman is trying to help someone redeem their friend who has become a crime lord. Big Time is an old friend of Terry's, and Terry is trying to get him back out of this life. This is a very strong Terry-focused episode, which, thinking about it now, that's not something we've gotten a lot of. Episodes have either been focused on one-off characters, or we've gotten an episode on Bruce or Max, or the episodes had the focus on the villains or the plot. With Terry being the protagonist insofar as he comes into the situation and tries to correct it. But we haven't really had a lot of episodes where Terry is the focus, and it really is, and Big Time really is Terry's episode, reconnecting with his friend from when he was young, realizing the different paths they're on, and trying to help him. And, just the devastation when he realizes Charlie used him, because Charlie knew Terry works for Bruce Wayne, so he, used the guilt that Terry feels over their situation when they were younger, when Terry's parents were getting divorced. Big Time Charlie, I'm going to keep alternating, I'm between his nicknames, took Terry under his wing. And, at the same time, wanting to impress a gang, Charlie committed this big heist and took Terry with him. Terry only got 90 days in juvie because he was a minor, and Charlie was sentenced to 3 years in prison. So Terry feels this strong sense of guilt over what happened, and he wants to help Charlie as much as he can. And of course, still thinking by being a criminal of some kind, he can get a big break. Charlie preys on Terry's guilt and tries to use it to manipulate him. It's a very strong episode, especially for Terry, and Will Friedle gives one of his best performances, probably since Rebirth, the very first episode. Will Friedle has been good consistently, but he's never really given anything exemplary, anything strong. There's only been a handful of episodes, I feel, where he's really excelled above and beyond just his normal good, and those were Rebirth and the first two Royal Flush Gang episodes. What was the first one? I can't remember the name of the first one from season 1, and then of course Once Burned, because of Terry's relationship with Melanie 10. And again, just here we have another really strong Terry-focused episode with another phenomenal performance from Will Friedle, who really sells just how devastated Terry is by this entire situation. Also interesting to note is that Big Time Charlie is voiced by Stephen Baldwin, which is, I feel, a really odd choice, especially given his performance. Baldwin makes some decisions, let's just say. Like, he's obviously trying to cover how gruff his voice kind of sounds, how sort of gravelly his voice sounds, but at the same time, it's making him sound much older while he's trying to sound younger, if you can understand that. It's also in 2024, it's really weird to talk about Stephen Baldwin in light of the whole Alec Baldwin thing. If you don't know, look it up, because like Stephen Baldwin was always kind of the controversial Baldwin brother with his let's just say he's like, well, not as extreme. Let's just say he was like Kirk Cameron or Kevin Sorbo. But yeah, I have nothing more to say. The animation is still really good. But yeah, Big Time is a standout episode of season 3. It gives us a really strong plot that focuses on Terry, and Will Friedle gives one of his best performances in the series so far. But those are just my thoughts. Have you heard Big Time? What are yours? Start a conversation in the comments below. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Click the bell next to subscribe to get notifications when I upload. Share the video around. All of it helps my channel grow. And in the description box below, you'll find the link to my socials where you can follow me and get updates on the channel. This is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and I'll see you guys next time.